For this evening, I'm delighted that in the Crossfire, Democratic Congressman Grayson, who is for Putin's peace plan, and Daniel Pletka, who thinks the president has mismanaged the Syrian crisis. Let me start, Alan, with you. You saw this morning, I'm sure, the New York Times op-ed piece by President Putin instructing the American people. Let me just read one brief section of it. He says, no one doubts that poison gas was used in Syria, but there is every reason to believe it was used not by the Syrian army, but by opposition forces to provoke intervention by their powerful foreign patrons. Now, do you agree with Putin that this could easily have been a clever black flag operation, or do you in fact agree with the American intelligence community that this was clearly done by the Syrian army?
The weight of the evidence at this point was that it was done by the Syrian army. However, all members of Congress, all of whom, as you well know, have classified clearance, have received so far is a 4-page unclassified document making all the arguments for war, and a 12-page classified document which you can surmise does much the same. That's it. We haven't seen any of the underlying intelligence whatsoever, and it puzzles me and disturbs me that the administration has held these vital pieces of information so close to the vest that even members of Congress can't see it, although we're being asked to vote on war and peace.
Well, look, it's an absolute fact that I think everybody agrees to, that in his own country, President Putin opened a campaign in Chechnya that killed about 300,000 people. That's an absolute fact that he, in fact, invaded the independent country of Georgia. So I find it a little hard to take too credibly his defense of his Syrian ally. Again, I think it's something I'd ask you, are you comfortable that Putin will follow through and that we can rely on him?
It doesn't matter. Either he will or he won't. And nobody in America likes being dictated to by a dictator. Nobody likes being chided by a dictator. But one of your contributions to foreign policy is to point out the value of thinking in terms of national interest rather than in terms of personality. It doesn't matter whether it's Putin came up with this plan or Paris Hilton. The fact is that we have to follow it through to see if it leads to someplace good.